Hi, and welcome to day 3, lesson 3 of Animals 2 by 2, Eggs and Chicks. We're going to breeze over our lesson objectives and standards. They're the same as we've had Monday, Tuesday, and now today on Wednesday. So just remember, at the end of this lesson, I want you to be able to recognize eggs and chicks require certain environmental conditions to survive. Chicks have identifiable structures and behavior. Young chicks resemble their parents, and all animals deserve respect and gentle care. Obviously, during the lessons, I want you to be making observations about the natural world and the animals that are within it. Thinking about those 5 senses, how you could touch the chick's feathers, how you could feel the fluff of the baby down feathers, what you could see with your eyes, how you can hear the chirps, the peeps, and the crows of the chickens. And then I want you to be thinking about the questions that you could ask about the natural world using those appropriate reference materials like our book and support understanding to obtain your information. What you'll need is just a pencil, crayons, markers, a paper, and if you've been following along with us from Monday to now, I would use that same sheet. That way you can really be making notes and observations about the things that you noticed Monday, Tuesday, and today. If you are unable to write about it, you could always draw pictures showing the different stages from egg development to the incubation and now the hatching of the egg. And then of course the book 2 by 2 that we gave out on Monday. Okay, so some vocabulary words. We have hit a lot of these words this week, and I just want to go over a few of them with you. So we defined an incubator, which is a machine that creates the perfect conditions to incubate and hatch successfully, or that's the goal. Temperature is how much heat is in something, and we talked a lot about temperature in the incubators and temperatures with the brooding hens sitting upon the eggs. And then thermometer. Thermometer is an instrument used for measuring or showing temperature, basically how hot or cold something is. And those thermometers are used especially in the incubators while you are working on growing and developing those eggs to get to the hatching point. We talked about the yolk, which is the yellow internal part of a bird's egg, which is surrounded by the white. It's rich in protein and fat, and it nourishes that developing embryo or baby chick. We've talked about the ovum or the egg cell, where the female genetic material is found. Now we will be talking about the egg tooth today, so I want you to be listening for that vocabulary word. Just a quick review over the last few days. So over the last 2 days, we've investigated the creation of an egg, from how a chicken, particularly a hen, creates the egg, looking at the parts that it is made up of. And yesterday we discovered what happens inside the egg while it's being incubated. All of this is leading up to today, where we'll be looking at what happens after the chick is fully formed and ready to hatch. And this picture just gives us a quick overview of how it starts with a hen and she is laying that egg and how the chick develops throughout the multiple stages till we can get to the point of hatching. If you look closely, you'll see on day 18 that chick is getting really close to going, and we're going to discuss that a little more. So, investigation, eggs and chicks. So we're going to be looking at the process of hatching a chick. Questions I would like you to be thinking about is how long before the chick is ready to hatch? How does the chick get out of that hard shell? Can the mother help them? And what happens to the chick after it exits the shell? The hatch. Once a fertilized egg has been properly cared for, the continuous heat, humidity, and rotation, this egg will begin to hatch, hopefully, approximately 21 days after the incubation and the brooding. But around day 18, Remember, on the last slide, I asked you to pay attention to that page 18, or that day 18. This is 3 days before hatching. During this time, you don't want to rotate the eggs if you're incubating the eggs yourself, and the brooding hen, if she's doing it, she'll stop rotating as well. At this time, it's the resting stage. And if you listen really closely, you'll be able to hear little peeps inside the shell. So after day 18, you're going to stop rotating those eggs because they're resting, getting ready to hatch. The first indicator of hatching will be a little hole in the shell. This can take a day or more, but whatever you do, don't help. They have to do it on their own. Chicks should stay in the incubator until they're dry and fluffy. So that means if you're using the incubator instead of the brooding hen, even when they first come out of their shell, our first instinct is to pick them up and fluff them off and dry them off and fluff them up, but you need to leave them. They have to get up on their own and work those muscles and let themselves dry and get warm before you attempt to move them to a different area. Okay, so this is also the hatching. In this video, we're going to look at a very, very expedited, that means sped up, video of a hatching. This makes it easier for us to see the whole process. In this video, we're looking at the 21-day mark, and the hatching has already begun. You'll notice before it plays, you can see where that little hole has already started. It's being poked by the chick with his egg tooth. An egg tooth is a hard, white ending on the beak or the jaw of an embryo bird that's used for breaking out of the shell, and it's later lost. So it's just a little area that they use to peck it. It's pretty hard, and it's going to come off just to make a hole in the egg as it's hatching. If the chick is hatching in the incubator, make sure before it's moved that it's dry and fluffy. It's really important. That way they're staying warm and at the appropriate temperature. So let's take a look at this egg hatching. And remember, this is sped up quite a bit. That's why you're seeing the egg jarring back and forth from the movement. Eggs can take up to 24 hours to fully emerge from the shell, which is why we're watching a sped up version. Okay, so as you're looking at this, notice how it's cracking open. You can see the bird really coming through rather quickly. And that's because of the sped up process. But you'll see how it in parts it stops, it takes a break, because it takes a lot of energy for the chick to pull itself out. And there you have it. He is out of the shell. Okay, so caring for your newborn chicks. First, you're going to need a brooding pen if you're not having a chick's mother or the brooding hen care for them. And in some cases, if you have more chickens, you're still going to need a brooding pen to keep them separated from one another. So you're going to need a brooding pen, food, heat lamp, wood shavings, or sawdust. Now, please note, if you have a brooding hen that's taking care of her chicks, while you do want to separate them from any other chickens and roosters that you have, you do not need to provide that heat lamp. She is going to provide all the heat that these chicks will need. Okay, but if you are using an incubator and you do not have that brooding mother hen to take care of them, you're going to want to set up the pen and give them room to grow. So in the area of the pen, you're going to need to leave a cool area. This is where the heat lamp is not reaching, because they're going to need to be able to move out from that heat, get some exercise, really work those muscles, and we do not want them to get overheated. So you're going to want to keep most of the room heated or area heated with that heat lamp, but definitely leave an area that it's not touching, so that they have somewhere to escape the heat. Now, this heat lamp, you're also going to want to keep it set between 99 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit for the first week. Then after that first week, you're really going to be able to reduce that temperature by about 5 degrees each week until you reach 70 degrees. Now, another thing you're really going to be thinking about for those newborn chicks are the food and water. They should always be available to these chicks. That doesn't mean put them out at certain times. That means it's going to have to be left out all day and all night. But they are really messy. Chicks are very, very messy. So you're going to have to make sure that you're changing the food and water out often, as well as either wood shavings or some bottom cover, because there's going to be quite a bit of mess. Also, if your chicks are not being raised by a brooding hen or by a hen, then you're going to have to show those newborns how to drink water. So what you're going to do is you're going to quickly dip their beaks into the water so they'll know where it's at. And typically, if you show a few, they'll show the rest of their group. But that's up to you. You want to make sure that they're all aware of where the water is and how to get a hold of those things. Okay, make sure, once again, I can't stress this enough, chicks are very messy. Their food and water are going to need changing out regularly. Now, conclusion and our prelude. So hatching starts around day 18. That's where the chick is resting and, most of the time peeping in preparation for the hatching. The chick uses its egg tooth to help break the hard outer shell of the egg, and can take up to 24 hours for the chick to fully emerge from the shell. Once the chick is out, it must be dry and fluffy before you can move it from the incubator. That kind of helps with body temperature regularity. Also, once again, if it's with the chick is with its mother or the hen, then you don't have those issues to worry about. So guys, I'm so excited you are here with us today. Please check in tomorrow where we'll go over lesson 4, and we're going to watch the chick grow and see where it goes from newborn chick as it progresses through its life cycle. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much.